don't criticize us on game day. That's the easiest part. People that don't see what actually happens to get a team and a program up for the challenges of a season and get to the Final Four, we lose a game and I can't coach.
Dawn Staley is exposing the flaws in how we define leadership in 2026. Most coaches mistake her tactical brilliance for mere personality, failing to see the deep-rooted transparency that defines her program. Discover why your favorite coach is failing to mirror her success and what it actually takes to lead the modern athlete. Dawn Staley, South Carolina women's college basketball team, once again making another Final Four appearance. This time beating TCU, and they're about to go up against the juggernaut, the Connecticut Huskies. How is Dawn Staley so successful so early in her coaching career? This is her post-game press conference with some of her players after defeating TCU. Let's see if we can agree that right now, Dawn Staley is the best coach in women's basketball, and if she is on her way to becoming the greatest women's basketball coach of all time.
Dawn, obviously this is an old hat for you to get to the Final Four, but is it still special because there's so many first-timers that it's their first Final Four experience as opposed to you guys have gone to 6 straight?
Anytime you're able to play on the third weekend in the NCAA tournament is always special. I don't know, I think this is our 6th in a row, but it really doesn't feel like that because the work that it requires for you to get to this place, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think we were just talking to our coaches in the locker room, and we're like, people really criticize coaches for how they coach, how they coach on a game day. A game day is the easiest time of our day. It is what you have to do to prepare players, who are going through whatever they go through, because they go through things. They go through, not doing so well in the classroom. They go through breaking up with their significant others. They go through just mental exhaustion.
Great point she starts off with. Not only is the focus on the X's and O's, so the things that the coaches have to do on the court, but a big focus is on what goes on off the court. And people can argue, and I can argue, that it's even more important to focus on the things off the court than on the court. I think naturally, as a lover of the game of basketball, you're gonna know how to draw up plays. You're gonna know how to assign players to match up against other players. You're gonna know how to put players in the best positions to be successful. But you actually have to learn these individuals, learn these players, learn these people, learn what triggers them, what makes them happy, what may make them sad, things that motivate them, things that discourage them, because all these things add up and they create the player that you see on the court. So if they're having a down day outside of the court, you're going to have to know the things to say or the things to do to maybe pick them up. Give them a little pick them up. Give them a little kick in the butt so that they have the energy to be successful once they step on the court. That's what Dawn Staley is saying. Outside the court, learn your players. Learn them as people. Know their likes, their dislikes, and most importantly, know exactly who they are so you can best coach them to be the most successful player that they can be on the court. Love it, Coach.
Just for having to deal with their young lives. So that's the hard part. Don't criticize us on game day. That's the easiest part. People that don't see what actually happens to get a team and a program up for the challenges of a season and get to the Final Four, we lose a game and I can't coach. We lose one game and I can't coach. Well, I don't really take it to heart like that, but for someone to actually generate that statement, put it out on social media, and think they've accomplished something, it's hard. It's gratifying because there are 5 new players on our team that haven't experienced that. There's one player on our team that experienced a Final Four every year of her college career, and that's Raven Johnson. And, you know, the think pieces on her for 5 years are quite incredible. But at the end of the day, Ray's a winner, like a winner. And now people are seeing the type of player that she is, that she was capable of being. It's just, we lost the core of our team. There was a core that was a part of the last probably 5 years. It was a core group. They've all gone to the WNBA, which leaves Raven left to be able to just play how she's playing this year, scoring when we're needed, facilitate when it's needed. But she did some things on the way in this journey of the NCAA tournament and led. Joyce and I saw this exchange. You remember this? You started talking about the rims during your shoot around. Oh, the rims work. And Raven came up to you and said, we only want positive thoughts, or something to that extent. And she didn't know I was listening, but I saw the entire exchange. And it's that. She didn't really care it was Joyce. She just heard, something about the rims being tight or whatever.
Great point. Another point. This has nothing to do with shooting a basketball, dribbling a basketball. Actually, it does have a little bit to do with shooting because she's talking about the rims and not like it. As a basketball player, sometimes you see the rims and you see the angle. You be like, you might not like the angle of the rims, how it's set up and things like that. But it's just about positive thoughts. Coach Staley overheard her other player telling her teammate, don't even put that negative energy in the air. Don't even put it out there. All positive. Think positive. If that negative energy is coming, just block it out. Go to something positive. Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you can do. That's all that matters because that's all that's in your control. Focus on the best version of yourself. I love it. As a coach, for her to overhear that conversation means that she's in tune with her team, hearing little things like that. And that probably made Coach Staley think like, all right, we got this game. We're on the right mindset. We're on the right track to be successful in this game. And it's the little things like that a conversation here, phrase, just something positive, anything like that, just put out in the air can just lead to not only a big victory on the court, but just big, huge success in life.
But it's just that you really can't discount. And you can't really just know the full extent of a person and their leadership because they shot 2 for 10 on any given night. Like, so I'm just really proud of our players for being able to overcome all the things that come with, the rigors of a season.
Beautiful, Coach Staley. Dawn Staley's 6 straight Final Fours puts South Carolina coach in rare territory. South Carolina women's basketball is playing a 6th consecutive Final Four game. Dawn Staley's streak is now the 2nd longest in women's college basketball history, surpassing 2 coaches who she has previously tied with at 5. Number 1 seed South Carolina beat number 3 seed TCU in the Elite 8 and now plays UConn, the number 1 overall seed, in the Final Four. UConn coach Gino Auriemma still holds the record for the most consecutive Final Four appearances at 14, but here's where this 2026 accomplishment puts Staley in comparison. So where Staley's Final Four streak ranks among coaches, Auriemma took UConn to a record-setting, which is insane, 14 straight Final Fours from 2008 to 2022. He holds that record for most. He holds the record for most national championships among women's coaches with 12. Woo, that is crazy too. Tara Vanderveer took Stanford to 5 Final Fours in a row from 2008 to 2012, and Muffet McGraw brought Notre Dame to 5 straight from 2011 to 2015. Now that Staley has passed both, she has the 2nd most in women's college basketball history. Late Tennessee coach Pat Summitt, which was one of my favorite coaches, men's or women's, who won 8 national championships, went to 4 Final Fours in a row. So this is where Don Staley ranks among coaches with most NCAA women's basketball championships. Gino Auriemma, 12. Pat Summitt, 8. Kim Mulkey, Baylor and LSU, 4. Don Staley, 3. Tara Vanderveer, 3. Linda Sharp, 2. Muffet McGraw, 2. So she's in rare territory. Like I said, even just reading those, like those names that she's around, those are great coaches. Like the way that Don Staley coaches these modern athletes, like the way that she's adapted to the modern athletes in this modern game is incredible in such a short time. Like as the old school coaches, sometimes they get stuck in their ways and they don't adapt to the new age, and they think that the way they've done it is always going to be successful, and they either get stuck in the same rut or they kind of fizzle out of the game. The ones that are successful, like a Gino Auriemma, who has been coaching for so long, is that he is able to adapt to the game. So each year, each decade that it changes, he adapts and doesn't hold back and think that, oh, I just have to do it my way or the highway. He sees that it's a different version of players, it's a different environment, and he does whatever is best to be successful. This is what Don Staley is doing. And to me, she is the best women's basketball coach right now. I love watching her coach, just her style, the way she interacts with her players. She has that beautiful way of being hard on her players, plus being soft. So being tough on them, plus also showing that she loves them and cares about them, which is sometimes it's hard to kind of cross those roads, and it's hard to kind of distinguish between the two, but she does it great. It is exactly why she is successful, and is exactly why I believe she's on her way of becoming the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. Do you like Dawn Staley as a coach? Do you think that more coaches should be like Dawn Staley? Are there any other coaches that you enjoy watching and believe are on a tear like Dawn Staley and are helping to continue to push the women's basketball game forward? Leave all your thoughts in the comments below. I'm a Dawn Staley fan. I'm going to be rooting for South Carolina to beat UConn. It is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be back and forth. It is going to be a battle, and I am all here for it. Continue doing what you're doing, Dawn Staley. You're a great coach. You do exactly what is needed for your players, and just continue to be great. Till next time, this is Coach Kev, and I'm out of here. Peace.